Hi, everybody. It's Sandra. Thank you so much for coming to my eBay sales video today. I think that my sales total about $9,500 or so, and I've spent about $500 on merchandise. After this video, I'm pretty much caught up. What I mean by that is I spent a bunch of money on some estate jewelry collections and also some auction finds, like just buying kind of big boxes full of jewelry. So I tried to average out the prices as best I could this time, doing a little bit differently. But going forward, I'm gonna be in the money for all those things I bought. But as of right now, I spent about $500 or so. So very, very nice profit. Gonna be a lot of jewelry on this one. If you're not a jewelry reseller, but you wanna be, I hope this video helps you out. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you want. Thank you so much to anybody and everybody who bought any of these items from me. It is much appreciated. The name of my eBay store is the Funky Pickle Store. I've been selling on eBay since 1998, but I do only do this part-time because I have another job. Let me know what you think below. Like this video if you do like it, and I will be right back. Here's a very pretty demi-parure that I got in an auction lot. I love glass jewelry, and this is quite pretty. There is kind of foil inside. Let's see if we can get more of a close-up. That necklace is a great length too. It's a pretty vintage piece, and that's what the finding looks like. Isn't that pretty? Let's see if there's any other pictures here. Yeah, just this one showing the length, almost 25 inches long or so. A little bit of loss to the gold tone, which I always make sure that I photograph and then disclose as well. So, didn't sell this one for a lot of money, but these small amounts do add up. And what I really like about selling jewelry is it doesn't take up much room. I have a very small house and a very small office. So, selling jewelry really works for me for that reason and also because I love it. Anyway, sold this necklace and earrings set for 24. In a recent collection of estate jewelry I bought, there were a lot of crosses, and this is one of the crosses from that collection. I think this is very interesting. It's so different. I love the texture. It has that sort of hammered look, that kind of brutalist look. This is sterling silver. I think I couldn't make out what it says. Maybe it was, does it say OS or something? Can't remember, but it's a cool piece in great condition. And there it is. You can see how big it is. A little bit more than 3 inches, including that top part too. It was all one piece. The bail was attached to the piece itself. Sold that one for 40. I got these 2 skeins of yarn at a yard sale, maybe a year and a half ago now, maybe even 2 years ago. I bought a lot of yarn actually, and I'm getting right down to the end of it. I don't know if you can see that or not. Oh, there it is. Okay. So originally in the day, who knows how old these are? These were $24 a skein. And I think the name brand is Dream in Color. I actually have sold this before. It was beautiful. I love the kind of different colors in it too. It's just not the straight blue. Sold both of those for $20. I'm definitely in the money on that yard sale. In fact, I think I'm up several $1,000s on that sale. So, still trying to sell the yarn, really easy to store, and it's colorful and pretty. I really like selling craft items a lot. This is a beautiful lapis and sterling silver necklace. This came in a whole box of jewelry, I think from an auction. And there's the marking 925, so that means it's 92.5% silver. The rest is something else. I think that's signed LT Thailand. This was very heavy. I hope I weighed it because it really weighed a lot. Wasn't just a thin little thing. Yeah, look at that, 20 grams. Beautiful link too. I love that link. Priced it to sell like I try to do with all of my items. I'm trying to flip things quickly, and I know there are people for sure who buy from me to resell for themselves, which is absolutely fine with me. It's a pretty piece, isn't it? Sold that one for 25. I got this skull ring at a yard sale. I believe I paid $1 for it. I think it's adorable. This is not fine jewelry. It's not silver or gold or anything. I love it. And there it is on my mandrel showing that it's a size 6. Fun item, paid a dollar, sold it for 12. This is a very pretty bracelet. This one is J. King, Desert Rose Trading. It appeared to be new and unused. I wasn't sure. It sure was in fantastic condition. I don't know what kind of stones those are. I don't think they were amber, though. Pretty piece. Sterling silver, great designer, part of the Mine Finds collection. I can't remember if this was HSN or QVC, but it was one of those. This was part of an auction lot, so sold this one for 25. I got this little pendant at a pawn store. I actually like going to certain pawn stores to look for jewelry. A lot of times they sell things by weight and they don't really know costume jewelry. Sometimes I get lucky and they'll have some costume jewelry that they'll just sell me because they're not going to be bothered with that. But look at that beautiful Art Nouveau design. You see there's a woman's face on it? It's kind of hard to see, isn't it? And there's how big it is. And it was a little mirror. I thought this was absolutely adorable. I believe I paid $5 for this one in the pawn store. Had to have it though. Loved it. Sold it for 30. Here is an awesome picture disc record. These are pretty collectible. A lot of us grew up with Boy George and the Culture Club, and that's what this is, Church of the Poison Mind. I believe this is a Japanese import too. Surprised it wasn't worth more money, but I have actually been trying to go through my records. I'm trying to sell all of them because I don't listen to them anymore and they should find a good home. So I've been selling a lot of those at auctions. We also just recently had a yard sale where I sold a lot of them, but I pulled a few of them out and I need to pull a lot more of them out for sure. Anyway, sold this little picture disc. It's just a 45 and yeah, I probably paid a dollar for it or something like that a long time ago, though. Sold it for 15. I love this Machine Age Demi. This is a fantastic set. It was hard to get good pictures of it. It was a beautiful gold tone or maybe even gold plated set. So a demi means demi parure. There are parures, which is a full set of jewelry, also called a suite. But when it's only two pieces, it's called a demi parure. So that's what demi means. Isn't this cool? It's a great design. It's very futuristic looking for its time, especially. This was part of an auction haul, so that has been averaged in, like I talked about in the beginning. Sold this item for 70. This is an awesome antique watch, and you see that it is a brooch too. Let's see if I can sort of show you what I mean. Yeah, there it is. So that top part, there's a pin behind it and it's upside down so that the wearer could lift it up and look at the time. And I just found out this is actually called a nurse watch pin. And this was made in England, as you can see. It is sterling silver. I can tell by the hallmarks right there. And it is by a company called Nathan Brothers, which is a very desirable and collectible brand. This is very deco looking, isn't it? Now I had this one up for oh, let me see if I can see. Yeah, there's the back, so you can see the back a little bit better. Pretty marcasites, sterling silver. I think it's a beautiful piece. I had this one up for 130, but I put best offer. Somebody reached out and they wanted it for 60, which is really deeply discounted, isn't it? But I'm trying to flip my stuff fast. I said yes, maybe I should have held out. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, it's okay. This one is pure profit for sure. Sold this nurse watch pin for 60. Well, I was at an auction and in one of the boxes, there were a few bags of these little findings. And when I picked them up, I saw that almost all of them were marked 14 karat, which I could hardly believe. This I made a lot of money on so far. Well, I guess that's relative. I think I've made $2,400 or so just on this one lot. Now, this particular piece, this is the OTC. I just got to look at my notes. I sold 9 of these for $75, which adds up to $675. I think for the whole lot, I spent like 60 or $70 only. So that was very cool. I don't know if maybe no one else noticed it other than me. This is a great thing, though. A lot of people on eBay are selling theirs for a lot more than me, but I'm very, very happy with that awesome price. They're little like charm clip kinda things, or you could also put a pendant on it. Cool little pieces. I think these were brand new, and I think these were HSN or QVC as well. Awesome profit, cute little items, right? This is an amazing modernist necklace by Hagit Gorali. This is an Israeli company, Israeli designer. Such a cool piece. How interesting and different. I believe this was new. This was sterling silver. It has an omega chain. A nice heavy piece too. Look at that. 30 grams. And there is the HG. That's the signature for Hagit. This is HSN or QVC. But check that out. Look at the huge pendant there. Almost 5 inches. This was a huge statement necklace. So cool also that it came with its original paperwork. So this was an auction find, and I think I am in the money anyway on this lot. So this one was pure profit. Sold this for $125. Really cool piece. I found this Kenneth J. Lane necklace at a yard sale. I believe I paid $3 for it. I love KJL stuff. This is a really cool piece. It looks very 80s. I don't know. It could be newer. I'm not sure. Uh, Kenneth J. Lane only designed costume jewelry. I think he began working for Christian Dior, if I'm not mistaken. But a lot of famous people loved his jewelry, including Jackie Kennedy, Wallace Simpson, and I think Barbara Bush very famously wore fake pearls of his, a fake pearl necklace to an important event, like an inauguration or something like that. So he became very, very well known. He did pass away a few years ago. I know he did have a line that he sold on QVC or HSN. I don't know if that's the case with this item. Very cool necklace. I love how colorful it is. This is kind of a signature for him to use these wonderful jewel tones. You see, you have the sapphire blue, the emerald green, and a very, very nice, rich amethyst purple. Paid 3 for it, sold it for 30. Here's a very sweet branch coral necklace. And then they made each piece kind of into a bead. They drilled a hole through it. I believe that one was strung with thread. Barrel clasp, cute piece. Oh, that's kind of hard to see. It's about 18 inches long or so. Pretty color too on this. This was part of an auction haul. Sold this one for 18. I love finding jewelry by Carolyn Pollock. This is a beautiful Carolyn Pollock piece. It's sterling silver, and this shape is called Naja. You may recognize it as being very often used on the bottom of a necklace, a squash blossom necklace. It's kind of hard to see, but there's Carolyn Pollock's signature. I don't like signatures like that. I would never do that if I owned a jewelry company. I don't know why you make it so hard for somebody to recognize what the piece is, but I can recognize it just because I've had it so many times and I've sold it so many times. This was part of an auction haul. Carolyn Pollock is very famous for creating this sort of jewelry that's from the American West. It all has this flavor to it. Beautiful designs. Look at that. Very cool piece. Took a best offer on this one of $75. I got a bunch of Charter Club pillowcases. They were king size pillowcases at a yard sale over the summer, last summer. And I actually needed a couple of them. They were brand new and still in the packages. And the lady had them in the original packages, like with the sheet set kind of thing. And you could see that I can't remember what the price was, but maybe the sheets were $200 or more. So I knew that this was going to be a good thing to buy to resell. But because I needed a few of them anyway, it worked out great for me. So I used some of them, kept some of them. I usually don't like buying used stuff to use on things like pillows or beds and what have you, but these were new in the package. So I got this whole stack of them, kept some, and I sold these. I guess these are just two, right? Yeah, I took a best offer. Um, $35 is what. Oh, and you know what? I did free shipping on these. I don't usually do free shipping actually because I am not smart enough to remember that I did free shipping. And often I'll go down my list of all the items I have actively being sold on eBay and I start lowering prices because I feel like everything will sell when you hit the price low enough. And That's why I don't like doing that because I've done that before where I've lost money because I put it so low and then I didn't know I had free shipping. So I'm surprised I did that, but it's okay. So sold them for 35 less whatever the shipping was. Still a good profit. This is only the second time that I have sold a piece by Cynthia Chuang. I believe she's based in New York and I love her designs. This is ceramic, and I believe she made not only this kind of stuff, creepy crawly stuff, uh, lizards and insects. I think she also did animals as well, or probably still does. I love this piece. It was missing, I think, one of its beads, and I'll show you that in a minute. But look how big it is. It's so cool that it's a stick pin too. So much easier to put on than a brooch would be, especially with a piece this big. But you see that? I think that may be a missing, I think, right here, or not, because some of these at the end don't even have a bead on them. So I wasn't sure, but I just closed it. Very cool piece. I love the colors. I love the eye. I think her stuff is super fun. Took a best offer on this for $110. This one was part of an auction lot, like most of the items today, actually. Look at this cool and quirky item. This is by the designer Elzad. I don't have any information on that person. This is from the 1940s, as you could probably tell. It's ceramic. You see there is some paint loss to the face. Somebody could touch that up. I certainly wasn't about to do it. And the hat and the hair are like leather. It was very well done. A nicely made thing. Not everybody's cup of tea for sure. It's a little weirdling. I loved it. I got this as part of an auction lot. Didn't pay much for it. I know that was kind of a more inexpensive auction lot compared to some that I've had. So this one was from the 40s, part of Elzad's Fashion Victim line. Sold this one for 35. Here are more similar items to those other ones I was telling you about that I got at the auction in a bag of jewelry findings. There was other jewelry too, mostly costume jewelry. And this was a different name brand, JCM. I think that's QVC or HSN. So here's how big it is. This one was a push gate style. So this one opened a little differently, I think, than the OTC ones, I think. But let me just see if I can move myself. Let me see how many of these I sold because I can't remember. I sold 6 of these, and that equals $450 on these little 14 karat gold push gate style little charm holder things. Isn't this a pretty necklace? I love how glowy it is. It's gorgeous. I probably should have taken some more pictures. It's nice and big. You can see, right? Cool statement piece. I don't remember where I got this one. I don't think it was part of an auction lot, though. I think it must have been in a thrift store. And if so, I wouldn't have paid more than $3 for it. Probably 2 or $3. Sold this one for 40. This little guy was part of an auction lot. This is sterling silver. I love the colors, but you see how it looks gold? That's called vermeil. Cool enameling. Hopefully you can see that it is signed HS. I don't know who that is. Really cool little brooch though. Actually not that little. Cute. Definitely in the money on this auction find. Sold this one for 25. I'm always so excited to find Dragon's Breath jewelry. And further, these are signed by a designer that I really like. I believe that is pronounced Fryrish. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I think it is. So, Dragon's Breath, you can see those center stones. This is also referred to sometimes as man made opal, and it is made by adding molten metal to glass. And it gives this effect of looking kind of like breath. If you think about how breath would look on a very, very cold day coming out of a dragon's mouth, I guess is how they named it. It's a very, very cute name for it. These are clip earrings. I think I paid $2 for these. Really surprised. It took a long, long time to sell them. I don't know why no one wanted them. I thought they were absolutely amazing, actually, but just my opinion. I guess not many people agreed with me, but I did end up finally selling them. I think I had them up for um, Oh, may I guess I only had them up for a few months. Okay, I take that back. For some reason, I thought these were up for more than a year. Anyway, took a best offer on these, sold them for 37. Very cool. Love finding Dragon's Breath. Here's another name that I love finding and selling. This is by the designer Hobei. I believe he designed jewelry from the 20s to the 50s. And I think his claim to fame was that he made jewelry for the Ziegfeld Follies. I think that put him on the map. What a beautiful rhinestone cross this is. Wow. Nice and big too. Nice condition. Sometimes these old rhinestones can discolor. I didn't actually see any discoloration in any of these stones. Gold tone, cool piece. This one was part of an auction lot. Got very nice money for it. Sold this one for $79. And often when people buy from me, I don't know who you are. And a lot of times they are YouTube viewers, but I don't know because I don't recognize your eBay handle. But this one I do. And I know this one was bought by a friend of the channel. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. This is such an amazing pendant. I love flower jewelry. This one looks like a daisy. This was made in Israel. It is sterling silver, and it's something that's called electroform. So there is kind of something inside of there that they put the sterling silver over. I think it may be like a plasticky or a waxy substance. But what's good about it is it's not particularly heavy, because if this was solid all the way through, it would be very, very heavy and uncomfortable to wear and probably very, very expensive too. Now, this pendant came as part of an auction lot. Sold this one for $55. It's a great piece. I think I got this set of 6 antique buttons in a thrift store. I think. It could have been an auction, but I do think it was a thrift store. I think I bought they had, like, the boxes, those cardboard boxes that you put your checks in, like, when they mail you your checks from the bank. It was a box like that full of old buttons, and I picked out a couple that I thought looked interesting, and I said, "Well, I'll just take the whole box," and I think she charged me $2 for the box or something like that. These are kinda cool. It's like an Egyptian hunter, with chariot and a horse. Very interesting design. Sold these for 30. This sterling silver necklace is so sweet. This is carved lapis. I think it's really well done too. Look at the flowers. I love the chain part too. I love that link. I call that a crinkle link. I'm not sure if that's officially what it's called or if I just made that up, but I do love that link. A few marcasites. Isn't that interesting? Love the color too. And there's the mark, sterling. So this one was really quite special. This was part of an auction lot. Sold this one for 75. I picked up this awesome Afghan Coochie necklace at a Savers. I think I paid 20, maybe even 30 for it, I think. I wore it a few times. I love it. It's very, very big. Not everybody likes big, huge statement jewelry like this. I certainly do. And I'm showing there that each of those things is uh, almost 4 inches, actually. About an 11-inch drop. Very, very fun piece. I enjoyed wearing it very, very much. And I did take a best offer. Why can't I get back to that picture? I had to reopen the tab. It wouldn't let me show you that picture again. Anyhow, sold this one. I did take a best offer, sold this one for 70. This is such a sweet parure. I love cameo jewelry. These are shell cameos. This is not real silver, and the stones are glass. This is probably from the 60s, maybe the 50s, something like that. Not antique or anything. And there I'm showing how long the bracelet is, about 8 inches. Look how swirly it is. I think it's cool. And there are the earrings. Very pretty blue. Oh, that's right. There's a little bit of a flaw. See on the left-hand side, some of the swirly stuff is missing. You couldn't really show it. I mean, you couldn't really see it when you wore it, but I wanted to make sure I showed it in the picture, and I also talked about it in the description. And there it is from the side. That's a very fun set. That was part of an auction haul. Sold that the 3 pieces together for 40. Sagen is a very collectible name brand. It was begun by a husband and wife. I think their names are Richard and Mariana. He was a graduate of Yale Art School and she studied silversmithing, I think. And they lived in Indonesia and they learned a lot about the culture. And their jewelry always has this sort of flavor to it, which I love. I love this name brand. It's very collectible. Like I said, it does sell for pretty nice money too. This one is sterling silver, very cool. I'm not sure what that stone is. Um, yeah, I don't know. Is that coral or something? I'm not exactly sure. Pretty cool piece though. Got this as part of an auction lot. Or maybe this came for that estate haul. I get confused now. And I took a best offer on it. I think I sold this one for 90. Look at this beautiful sterling silver ring. This one is marked BJC, which is for Samuel Benham. He's a New York City based designer. This one was new and in its package. And almost all the jewelry I'm showing, by the way, just in case anyone is interested, I have been showing recently on haul videos. You can see me buying a lot of these things, holding them up, picking them up, having a look at them. And then at the end of the video, I show you in more detail what I've bought. And often I sell things on my YouTube channel too. So just something to think about. No pressure, but if you want to check that out, you are more than welcome to. Beautiful ring. My viewers told me that this one was Tanzanite. I can't prove it. I'm not exactly sure. So that's why I put Tanzanite question mark. But collectors of these types of items, they know. They absolutely know. I love the design of this. I love the height of it. I love the color of it. Lots of silver on it too. I love the silver beading. Cool piece. Sold this one for 40. This little cross is so charming. This is sterling silver and marcasite. Look how slender it is. I loved it. I have no idea where I got this. None. I don't think it was part of a recent haul or anything like that. Very charming piece. Sold that one for 15 bucks. I have had this item for a while. I have quite a bit of Trifari jewelry that I've collected through the years. This is such an interesting piece. I love the spring colors. It's a beautiful shade of yellow with that white. Cool choker necklace. There is the signature Trifari with a copyright. I think I got this one at a yard sale for a dollar or two, but many, many years ago. Sold it for 32. I don't know what it is with me and 14 karat gold findings lately. This one I actually didn't get at an auction. I got this one in a thrift store. There was like a container of beads and little stuff, yeah, little findings, and one of them turned out to be 14 karat gold. I think I paid $5 for the whole box of stuff, and I pulled this one out and sold it for 40. This item has been on my eBay page for more than 2 years. I think this was a yard sale find, and I love Les Bernard stuff. There is always a whimsical feel to his items, his designs. It's kinda weird, right? It's sterling silver as well. Sterling, Les Bernard, and there you can see what the size is. I think it's really different. I like the texture on her dress. Interesting piece, so it's sterling silver with gold on top for May, right? I'm sure I paid a dollar for this or something like that. Sold it for 35. Nice profit. Surprised it took so long. I was trying to get more money for it for a long time, and I dropped the price and it finally sold. Cute thing, though. I love this bracelet. This I got a long time ago as part of a haul that I got from an estate sale where a woman had lost her mother who was in her 90s and she loved buying jewelry online. I believe the woman was a physician or something like that in the day. So she had a few bucks to just sit there, watch TV, and get all of this beautiful jewelry in the mail. I bought almost all of the pieces they had for sale at this estate sale. I spent 1,000 or 2, something like that. This was a piece I held back. I was going to keep it, but I decided to let it go. I love the colors. This is QVC or HSN, I'm assuming. I have no idea who Whitney Kelly is. I've never seen this designer before, but I sure love this bracelet. Look at all those stones, all those colors. Cool piece. Pure profit on this one for sure. Sold it for 54. like I mentioned in the beginning, I've been selling on eBay since 1998. Now, in those days, and really up until just a few years ago, I could sell many, many different things and make money on lots of different stuff. But now, because shipping is so much money, it's just harder to do. And I've really just been buying smalls and concentrating on smalls unless something's worth a lot. So this item was pretty small. I paid $2 for this in a thrift store. I think it's very lovely. This is a last rites cross. It has the candles inside, the cotton. It came with its, paper, the paper in there. Really nice crucifix. It has some nice age. What would you say, maybe 50s on this? Little bit of paint missing from the knee, and that's what it looks like all closed up, and then you open it up and the stuff is inside. Aw, pretty piece. Paid 2, sold it for 18. Thank you very much to the friend of the YouTube channel who bought this item. This is very collectible. I had gotten a couple of emails from people who said you should be asking a lot more than 250 for this George Jensen brooch, which is in the original box. It's a great piece, sterling silver. There is the mark, sterling Denmark, and then it's also numbered 101. Now, I got this at an auction, and this particular day, I think I spent $4,400. So everything that I buy is not always 25 cents or 50 cents or a dollar. That used to be more of my business model, and I changed it up a few years ago. I started to think that if I paid a dollar for something and I sold it for $10, it's great to make 10 times your money. But after fees and taxes, to end up with $7 or $8, what can I buy with that? Nothing really. So I decided instead it would be less work to go for higher ticket items. But of course, with that comes more risk because now I'm putting out a lot more money too. And anyway, I was happy anyhow to get $250 for this George Jensen piece. It's gorgeous. Very collectible. It's probably only going to go up in value. I'm really happy that somebody I know bought it too. This one was part of an auction lot, but from a different day and a much less expensive day as well. I think this looks very Lenin-esque. I don't know if it was artisan made or what the story is. I couldn't find anything like it. It's so cool. The face, the hair, the frame, and there's the mark, 925. Sold this one for 34. Here's another Sagen item. How gorgeous is this? Look at the mother of pearl, beautiful stones. I believe they make all their stuff. It's hand finished. It's just not pumped out in a factory. It's at least partially hand done. Very unusual. I took a best offer on this one. Another very, very good friend of the YouTube channel. Thank you so much. I took a best offer of 125 on this. This one was an auction find. I can't remember where I got these Westinghouse pins. Perhaps a junk store. I think that's where these came from, actually, in a box of kind of junky jewelry, which I did okay on. So I lotted these together. These are employee pins that they would reward people for working there a certain amount of years. This is nice to have the set. The first one is for working at Westinghouse for 5 years, and the second one is 10 years, then 15 years, then 25 years. These sell pretty well for me. Something that's this specific, that is a company like this, and it's kind of vintage. I guess if you work there, it might be nice to have, or if your mother did, or your father did, or your grandma did, or your grandfather did. So I sold all 4 of these service pins from Westinghouse for 25. My mother found this item at a yard sale. She doesn't really go to yard sales very often anymore, but when she did, she would often just buy a whole table of jewelry. And that's what she did. And she had a lot of gold, really a lot of gold in this one haul. I know we did do a video on it too. It was really astounding. But this was one of the little pieces of gold from there, a little M. Didn't weigh much. It was just a little thin thing. So I sold this one for 30. Great price, right? For 14 karat gold, somebody got a great bargain. Look at this very pretty and sunny yellow flower parure. These are thermoset, which is a type of plastic. I think certain plastics you can melt and reform, and then certain ones you can't. They're more set, if you will. I think that's what thermoset means. I don't know. It gets a little scientific and boring for me. But here are the earrings. They are signed Long Craft. I've sold that name brand before. I'm not sure who they are. And there's the bracelet. Very sweet. Sold that set for 25, part of an auction haul. I have a weakness for stick pins, and I also really love Art Nouveau jewelry. This is pretty beautiful. Not in perfect shape. There was a little bit of wear to the nose, which was the highest point on this. That's also common in ancient statues, right, where the nose has been broken off or other body parts too. Anyway, this was part, I think, of a box of jewelry I got at an auction. Sold this one for $28. She's very pretty. Here is a very pretty sterling silver barrette. This had some nice size too. I'm going to show you. It was pretty long. Marked on the outside of the barrette's kind of interesting. I don't usually polish things either before I mail them. People like tarnish. I like tarnish. So people who buy my jewelry can polish them if they want to, but a lot of people don't want to. So that's why if you notice some patina or tarnish, that's the reason why. Almost 4 inches long. That's not very clever. You can't really see what that says, but it was more than 7 grams. Cool sterling silver barrette. Sold that one for 29. How fantastic is this MCM ashtray? Those are the comedy tragedy masks, very stylized, such a fun piece. Little crackling to the glaze. That's really common for old items like this. No idea who this company is, like 6672G. I don't know. Cool mosaic. I remember doing those in camp and brownies. Very fun. Got this at a yard sale. I think I paid $3 or $4 for it. Sold it for 30. Here's a pair of very sweet Joan Rivers earrings. Nice high quality lever backs. These were made in China. Beautiful lime green color. I love that green. And there's the signature, Joan Rivers. These were either a thrift store or yard sale find. I don't think I paid more than $1 for them. Sold them for 12. I think this is a very interesting employee rewards pin. This is 10 karat gold. Yeah, there it is. 10 karat gold. This is a company that doesn't exist anymore, I don't think. HE Lighting Company. I think yeah, that's a real little ruby in there. I tested it and that's what I wrote. Look at the light bulb. Kind of a cool piece. This was part of a gold lot that I got at an auction that I did pay a lot of money for. I took a best offer on this. I think $50 I got for this. I love this turquoise ring. I don't know what the name of this type of turquoise is. It's very blobby and very interesting. It seems like this was handmade, doesn't it? I love it. I love it. Nice and big too. And there it is on my hand, my mannequin hand. Cool piece. Got this as part of a sterling and turquoise lot at an auction. Sold this one for 40. Here's another 14 karat gold finding that I got in that auction lot. This was a pretty cool pendant or charm holder. Kind of big too, half inch. And there it says 585, which means 14 karat, but also says 14K as well. Almost a gram. I had a bunch of watchers on this, so I sent something out to somebody and I sold this one for 60. I love old lockets so much, and I love these old rosettes. And this came in this box. I don't know if it originally came in that box, but that's the box I got it in, so I included it. Isn't that pretty? I love it. There's a little bit of wear to the gold. It was antiqued, I guess, in the day, and what I mean by that is they took black paint and they brushed it all in there, and then they wiped off the excess so that the high points didn't have the black paint. I hope that makes sense. So some of that is missing. It's so charming. I had $50 or best offer on this. This is also a locket too. I don't know if I mentioned that. Let me just show you what it looked like on the inside, like that. And that's what the back looked like. Sweet little thing. Sold this one, took a best offer, sold it for 30. Here's an item I got recently, and my viewers on YouTube had to tell me what this stone was. I'd never heard of it. It's called apatite. I think that's how you pronounce it. This piece is by J. King. Mine Finds by J. King. Also called Desert Rose Trading. It's very beautiful shade of blue, isn't it? Reminds me of the ocean. I took a best offer on this. Sold this one for $70. This was part of a lot, either an estate sale lot or an auction lot. Can't remember which. Pretty item though. Love that necklace. I don't remember where I got this one. I love buying Boucher. This is a fantastic name to look out for. Pretty cool piece too. Faux pearls as grapes. This one had nice movement. And there it says copyright symbol Boucher, and there's the number. I don't know what that says, 8855P maybe. A nice big piece, more than 3 inches. Can't remember where I got it, but I sold this brooch for 50. Here are some adorable Trafari earrings. Look at the little bugs in there. Such sweet items. Crown Trafari with a copyright symbol. That dates these to between 1955 and 1969. I think those are darling. I love them. I took a best offer. I'm just checking my notes. Yep. Sold those for $38. I think these were a yard sale find from a long time ago, though. I paid $2 for this Chico's necklace in a thrift store. And I know I didn't really sell it for much, but I just loved it. And I wanted somebody to wear it. Actually, I may have gotten this at a yard sale. Now I can't remember. I took a best offer on this one too. Let me just check. Sold this one for 11. I love the colors. Very cool piece. Here's another employee rewards item. This one is for VW, 10 years. A little bit of wear to the silver tone on the back. It's a little tie tack pin or a little tack pin. Sold this one for $19. I think pretty much all of these items are from either the auction or the estate. Not this one, though. This one I got at a thrift store. It's another Trafari. How cool and groovy is that? This one looks very 70s. It's very mod. There's the crown Trafari with the copyright symbol, so I guess it is 69 or earlier. Late 60s, I would guess. Cool piece. Probably paid $1 or $2 for this one. Sold it for 16. I got this item in a thrift store. I think I paid $5, maybe even $10 for this. But this is 800 silver, which means 80% silver and 20% some other kind of metal. It's so gorgeous. Look at the marcasites, the enameling. It's beautiful. Look at the shape of it. Lovely form, lovely colors as well. Paid 5 or 10, sold it for 40. Judith Ripka jewelry is very, very nicely made. It also is very expensive. This looked so much like real gold. It was unbelievable. Now, this came from an estate. I bought out 2 different estate collections of jewelry, and this came from one of those. And I think these all dated to 2007, 2008, right around there. So in those days, this sold for 170. It's a beautiful necklace, truly, truly so. I think I am in the money now on this estate collection, but I wasn't at the time I sold this. So I think, oh, I see. I took a best offer. Let me just double check real fast so that I can be accurate. I sold that. I took a best offer. Sold it for 80. Here's another 14 karat gold finding. This is a very cute little push bail, I think it's called, or Yeah, I think that's what it's called. You see, we've seen these before. We know how those open. I had 4 of them. I sold them for 11.99 each, whatever that is. That's what I got. Definitely in the profit on that lot. That was a very, very profitable one. Sold each of these for 12. Here are some of my favorite things. A shell cameo, jewelry that's heart-shaped, a locket, and 10 karat gold. And it's old too. How beautiful is this? Oh, I love her. I love her. And this one was signed Crosby. I have sold that before. This is a nice old name, and that's what the inside looked like. Nice size on this one. There was a slight dent on the bottom. Somehow, photographs have a tendency to really exaggerate it. It wasn't really that terribly noticeable, but I did disclose it. I took a best offer on this one of 130. I got this as part of a gold lot at an auction. I think I also got that other piece there too, that pin with the light bulb. This was all part of the same lot. Love this item. This item really surprised me quite a bit. I figured this was going to be worth a bunch. That's all hand painted. It's kind of exquisite, isn't it? Now I decided I would do an auction on this one and start it at $50, but I only got one bid, so that's what I sold it for because I guess nobody else saw the beauty in it the way that I do. I think this is incredible. This is a one of a kind. It is signed by the artist LP. I think it's quite old. It is a beautiful glass top with a little bit of curvature to it. It's Mother Mary and Jesus that looks like real gold paint in there, gold leaf paint. Um, 800 silver. So beautiful. I love it. It's okay. This was a yard sale find from a very long time ago. My mother found this one, so I'll have to give her this. Sold it for 50 bucks. Beautiful, right? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm crazy about it. Look at this very interesting egg yolk amber pin. Look at the dangles. It's so cute. This was really different. I've never seen anything like it. Wow, what a terrible picture. A little bit blurry, right? I got this one in a junk store that I really like to go to. I'm sure I didn't pay more than $1 for it. Sold it for 34. Who else loves Honora pearls? Aren't they beautiful? These are freshwater pearls. I lotted up all 3 pair of these earrings, different color pearls. These are dyed. They are cultured pearls. I love the shape of these earrings. For pierced ears, I got these earrings as part of that collection I was talking about where the lady was in her 90s and she bought a lot of stuff from QVC and HSN. And I took a best offer. Let me just double check. Yeah, I took a best offer on these, sold all 3 of these for 40. I found these 14 karat gold earrings at a yard sale. Nice lucky find. I found some other gold there too. Almost 3 grams, 2.9 grams of gold. Nice condition. Sometimes these get dented up. That's not the case here. And there's where the signature is, and it also says 14K. I'm not sure who the maker is. Sweet items, I took a best offer on those. Yeah, sold those for 120. I think I paid $1 or 2 at a yard sale. Here's an item you don't see every day. This is a very, very interesting piece of fruit jewelry by Elsa Schiaparelli. I love Schiaparelli stuff so much. This I will almost always pick up if I find it. I believe she branched off into jewelry in the 1930s. She was known for designing hats in the 1920s, I think the late 1920s. But she was part of the school of thought that wanted to make jewelry more like artwork, pieces of art. And why not? Such a cool thing. And I think that's called ombre. I'm not sure if that's how you say it. I could be saying that incorrectly. But that's when something goes from light to dark or from dark to light, but the same color. Anyway, I happen to love fruit jewelry. I had a lot of fun with this piece. I bought this piece probably 10 years ago or so in Bangor, Maine. There is like a an antiques mall kind of thing where everybody has a booth, and in the center, they have a lot of beautiful jewelry, and I think this had a $140 price tag on it, and the woman who was selling this wasn't working there that day. So I went up to the front desk and I said, "I'd like to make an offer on this piece." And she said, "Well, I'll tell you right now, the woman is not gonna wanna do it." And I said, "Okay, well, I want the piece, but I can't pay this much. I'm financially embarrassed this week." So anyway, she did call and I believe we reached an agreement that I would pay $75. So this was years ago. It wasn't worth this kind of money then, but I knew that it would be. I took a best offer on this, paid 75, sold it for $445. Very rare piece. Probably could have gotten more money for this if I wanted to wait, but I thought that was a fantastic price. Love this piece. We're gonna have to end it there because this video is getting very, very long. If you stuck it out to the end, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Now I'm gonna have to show the second half of this video at another time. So please stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd like to thank you so very, very much for joining me as always. Be well until the next one. All right, everybody. Bye bye.